Hi friends, Dean here with Escape to Gaming. Today I'm excited to bring my 7th gen racing game collection, including PS3 and Xbox 360 racing games. My collection is so big, and especially my Xbox 360 games, that I thought I'd break it up into two videos. Do all my racing games in one video, and then I'll cover all the shooters and the rest of them in the other. So anyway, that's kind of my thinking on this. So I thought I'd take a drive and discuss why I'm excited about it. Never before have we seen an absolute wealth of racing games like we have with the 7th gen. Now, going back to my early days in the arcades, I loved games like Night Driver, absolutely loved it. That was my favorite game at the time. Then Sprint, Super Sprint, and so many other wonderful racing games that we had then. And then, of course, I got my C64, fantastic, very challenging games like Revs Plus. God, that was tough, especially with a flight joystick. And then later on the Super NES, I had Nigel Mansell's World Championship, which, in fact, I'm looking for that one now for my Super NES collection. And I had some other Formula One games, of course, Pole Position 2. And then there were games that were really exciting that hit the PlayStation 1, starting with the Need for Speed game that came out in the 3DO, was ported over to the PS1. Of course, Destruction Derby 1 and 2, Gran Turismo 1 and 2, strange, quirky games like Hardcore 4x4 or Felony 1179, the list goes on. The PS2, original Xbox, and GameCube had even more games. And so, of course, I would say like Gran Turismo A-Spec, Gran Turismo 3 was one of my absolute favorites on that system. So many great racing games. Test Drive Off-Road, which was fantastic. God, there's endless ones. And of course, once I got my first original Xbox, I started playing the very first Forza the day it came out. Unbelievable. But that's just the beginning. When the 7th gen hit, there were so many fantastic games, which I'm going to cover. It really is just like a complete wealth of games that you can play, a complete massive resource of games that you can still enjoy. I have so many friends that right now are just regretting, God, I never should have got rid of that PlayStation 3. I never should have got rid of my Xbox 360 and all the games. Look, I did the same thing. Same damn thing. I'd buy games in 2009, 10, 11, play them, trade them, sell them, give them to my nephews, and then buy the next one. But then later, it's like, God, I really miss those games. God, I never should have got rid of those games. And that's what this collection video is all about. I'm hoping to not only share my collection, but at the same time, clue you in as to why I like each one of these games, why they're worth having in a collection. Because my motto is, if a game is worth playing, it's worth replaying and having in your collection. And never before have we seen, especially with the internet and eBay and Amazon, and of course so many mom and pop stores, even GameStop, there's a wealth of resources to buy and obtain games for the 7th gen. It's not too late to get them. And I'm really excited about that. I've got my collection pretty much done. I got like a half a dozen racing games left for the PlayStation 3 and the Xbox 360. I was going to wait till I got those and then do this, but I just haven't come across them locally, and I know I'm going to have to go on eBay and probably spend the big bucks for them because of that. But, it is what it is. So I thought I'd do the collection video now. I'm pretty happy with what I have. If I get the last few games, fine. If I don't, not the end of the world. But this is the time to collect. Never before have they been cheaper. And I'd say the last year and a half, I'm seeing them going up in price, going up in value, and also becoming a little bit harder to find, which is really concerning to me. So I would highly suggest, if you have an Xbox 360 or PlayStation 3, and of course you could probably play these on many of them on the PC as well, by all means, for the love of God, get these games. These are wonderful experiences. And many of us, like myself, are finding that there's really not that much in the way of racing games that I can enjoy, at least for me with my criteria of playing offline. There's not a hell of a lot out there. Of course, I love, Dirt Rally, Dirt 4 are outstanding games, really worth playing. The very first game I got from my PlayStation 4 at the midnight launch was, what was it, Need for Speed Rivals. I loved that, played that to death. Now I'm enjoying Need for Speed Payback, and that's great. You know, Flat Out 4, another one, Instant Insanity, or whatever the hell it's called, a fantastic game. I'm really enjoying it. Of course, they got this new Baja Edge of Control remaster. So I mean, it's a handful of games, but I'm telling you, there's an unbelievable wealth of games for the 7th gen, and that's what this video is all about. So I hope you enjoy it, guys. This is something that's been a dream of mine, to talk about these games and share them with you for some time. So I hope you enjoy it. Thanks for watching. Hi friends, Dean here with Escape to Gaming. Today is going to be my 7th gen must-have racing game collection. These will be comprised mostly of Xbox 360 games, but I do have a pretty good array of PS3 games as well. Certainly some of them could be, you know, cross-platformed. You can get them for the PS3 as opposed to the Xbox 360, but I'll point those out, the ones that are exclusives. And some of these are really like absolute must-plays. Other ones are nice to have in the collection, and I'll share my reasons why. Anyway, I'll start off with the PlayStation 3 collection. The first is one of my favorites. This is the 2011 Twisted Metal reboot. I have this version, and then I have a friend from the UK that sent me this version. This game was one of the ones that I absolutely had to have a PS3. I initially bought an Xbox 360 first. My father-in-law bought me the PS3 as I was anticipating this game, and we made a big stink about it right before Christmas, so no surprise I ended up getting one for Christmas. Just in time. If he hadn't, I would have bought one anyway. But this game, I'm not a big fan of the story mission in it, but if you go into the challenge mode, you can play this game just like you could the original Twisted Metal 1 and 2, where you can kind of pick out the tracks, pick out your enemy type. But a lot more customizations and a lot more ways to play it. This is one of my favorite reasons to own a PlayStation 3. It's absolutely priceless, extremely overlooked. I even played it online, not for a short, maybe about a week I played it online. I wasn't a big fan of that. I prefer, again, playing against the challenge modes. My nephew comes into town. This is one of our favorite go-to split-screen games. Excellent graphics. And it really took the franchise up a notch. Yeah, the single-story campaign was really kind of very strange in it. I really wasn't a big fan of it. In fact, I'll have to go through and play it all the way through. I got like 4 levels into it. And I just said, enough, I'm not going to play this anymore. But the story, the challenge mode, you can play it just like the old school ones, where you go through and pick out the levels, a part of a level and a whole level, pick out the enemy types, your sidekick, weapons of choice, customize your car. It's very advanced. And there's a little bit of a learning curve on this. There's even more button moves that you have to memorize. But man, once you get this thing down, it's a blast. Highly recommended. The next one are the Motorstorm series. Now I like, and I have all 3 Motorstorm games because I think they're all that good. You know, you'll see in my collection that there's some games within a series I only have 1 or 2 of. I don't have all of them. I'll share the reasons why when I get to it. But this is one where I like all 3. I had never played this one initially on my own console, but my brother-in-law bought a PS3 at launch, and this is one of the first games that he played on it. So I went over to his house, and man, I was like, God, would you mind if I played your Motorstorm? Oh, dude, go ahead. And I loved it. My only complaint is that some of the races you have to kind of stay, especially if you're on a bike, you have to stay in the ruts or the tire tracks of the guy, your opponent in front of you, and if you get into the mud, it can slow you down. I wasn't a big fan of that, but it's a really good, almost like a tech demo for the early PlayStation 3, and a really good game. I love the Motorstorm series. The next one is my favorite. Now, I mentioned that Twisted Metal was one of the reasons to buy a PS3. This is another one. Of all of them, this is my absolute favorite. I would buy a PlayStation 3 just to play this game. It's Motorstorm Pacific Rift. Unbelievable. You're playing on this island, tropical island like the island of Kauai in Hawaii. Fantastic elevation changes, enormous jumps and air you can get. It's got like 3 different camera modes. There's one that's kind of behind the hood, where you can see the motor sticking up through the hood, and it's so incredible. Just incredible jumps, off-camber turns. You have this kind of a nitrous setup. If you use it too much, you can overheat your car or truck and blow it up. Very cool. This is a very addictive game. I absolutely love this. If you're just now getting into the PlayStation 3 and Xbox collections, like a lot of my friends are just now kind of realizing, God, I miss these and want to get back to them, for the love of God, you've got to get Motorstorm Pacific Rift. I cherish this. It's a really great game. The next one's another great game, and that's Motorstorm Apocalypse. This one, I have a 3D TV. You can actually play it in 3D as well. And even if you don't, it plays in 1080p, which is not bad for a PlayStation 3 game. It's one of the early 1080p games. It looks amazing. Excellent game. My nephew and I also play this one split screen. Very, very cool. The track changes as you play, as there's hurricanes and storms. Things happen. The track changes along the way. Some of the levels are very, very cool in this. Excellent cars, excellent particle effects and lighting and graphics. This is another must-have game. I love racing games, and there's just so many good ones. Now, initially, which I'll show, I have the full auto for the Xbox 360, but later, this became an exclusive for the PS3. I remember buying this back in, God, like 2009 or 10, I believe, initially for the PlayStation 3. A fantastic game. Oh, I had a friend that had this. And so I bought this to play at his house, because I go over to his house and play here. When we first moved up here, the guy was a gamer, and he had a PS3 and an Xbox 360. So I got him to buy this so I could go over and play it. This is a great game. In fact, it's even better and more refined, and not as much screen tearing and technical problems as the Xbox 360 version. Huge arenas, excellent battlegrounds. If you like that car combat stuff like I do, you've got to play this. Fantastic. Full auto. What's it called? Battle Zones? Battle Lines. A great game. And another strange kind of exclusive. Now recently I just got this. I had never played this. I was going to buy it at launch like I bought all the other Dirt games. But I got it for the PS3 because I wasn't finding it for the Xbox 360. And it plays just as fine in the PS3. And that's Dirt Showdown. It's a good game. I haven't had too much time on this yet. I want to try more modes and try more cars in it. But it's kind of like a good, just... kind of like a derby race. Kind of reminds me of the old Destruction Derby games. There even has kind of a throwback to the Mad Max Main Force Patrol cars in here, the Bluesmobile, a couple other movie cars. It's not bad. It's good, solid arcade racing, very simplistic. It's more of the Gymkhana kind of stuff and less of the, the outside dirt rally type races. But a good game. I highly recommend. One of my buddies in the UK sent me this. This is surprisingly good. I had never played this series, WRC. World Rally Championship. This is the number 4 one. It's a little ham-fisted the way it kind of controls the track and the way you have to drive it compared to, like the dirt games. But really good graphics and really fun. I really like this one. In fact, I'd like to look and check out more of the games in the series. This I bought maybe a year and a half ago. I finally got tired of waiting for something to come out for 8th gen, so I went out and bought this. It took me 7.5 hours to install this fucking game. I couldn't believe it. I was up all night. Every so often you had errors and you had to reset it from the error point and it would start it from that point on. My God, it was literally 7.5 hours to install this. But my God, the tracks and the car selection is incredible. It was a real disappointment that Gran Turismo Sport was an online-only game. Even to save your offline progress, you have to be an online gamer. And I don't have PlayStation Plus, so I can't save it. So I enjoy playing this. I bought this because it had the 2014 Stingray. It was one of the few racing game sims that had the new Corvette. So I really like this. I need to get back to it. I just started to play it. Unfortunately, it's a long grind. You got to start at the beginning and go all the way through. So I haven't got too far into it, but it's worth having in a collection, definitely. Now this is another one. Initially, I bought this for the Xbox, played it, and got kind of bored with it and sold it, and then I bought it back. I couldn't find a 360 copy. So I said, that's okay, I'll get the PlayStation 3, and that's the game Fuel. This game boasts the largest open world in the Guinness Book of World Records of any game there is. It has the absolutely enormous. You could take all of the GTA maps and combine them in one and still have room left over. It's even bigger than that. It's huge. It's a little cold and empty, sterile, the world that it is, but it's very huge. It's big. It has these giant storms, kind of a Road Warrior-esque kind of a game. Very interesting, really kind of good Mad Max type cars, and again, like kind of a Road Warrior vibe to it. That I like, bikes, cars, trucks. It's a very interesting game. It's one that I wanted to give another chance because it really does have a lot of merit. So I thought I'd add it to my collection. I'd recommend this. Fuel is a really cool, very unique game. Some of these games you can get really cheap. I think I got that for like $5. Here's another one I bought the day it came out. Again, I had this on the Xbox 360, but got it for the PlayStation 3. Racing games play just as good on the PS3 as a lot of them, as you do on the Xbox 360. So I love this nailed. You really get the sensation of speed and these enormous jumps. Kind of a wide-angle lens vibe that you feel when you're racing with it. But it's got huge tracks, massive air, and just one mistake at high speed, it start all over. I mean, you'd really eat it bad, and it'd set you way back. But I love this game. That massive air that you would get, and the sensation of the jumps and speed, and the varied landscapes and types of tracks are very, very cool. It's a really good game. Motorcycles or quads, highly recommended. Nailed. One of those overlooked games on both systems. Now, this is a game that I've heard quite a bit about. I'm a huge skateboarder, and I like it's kind of like a sim, a skateboard sim, and that's Skate 3. Many of you have played it, know how good it is. I unfortunately missed out on all the Tony Hawk games, so this is one that appealed to me. I watched a few reviews of it, and I said, you know, this looks like kind of like a really good skateboarding sim. Jumping flights of stairs, kind of going through college campuses and in concrete type environments, and I like that about it. So I'm anxious to spend more time with this, but I would recommend this. If you love skateboarding, get the Skate 3. It's like a skateboarding sim. That's what's cool about it. I had a buddy in the UK that sent this to me, and that's Wipeout Fury. I think it came with a couple different Wipeouts. Let me get my old man reading glasses on here. Comes with all the content from Wipeout HD and the Fury expansion pack that was on the PlayStation Store. So I think it was in the UK only, not in the States, but I was really happy to play this, and I put this on and played the hell out of it. And then recently they came up with a remastered Wipeout collection that's in 4K at 60 frames a second, and since I got that, it pretty much is the same thing, but even better than this. But if you're collecting for the PlayStation 3, man, get one of these. You can even get it from the UK. It's region-free. It'll play perfect on a US PS3. Get this Wipeout collection here. Really cool. And that's it for my PlayStation 3 games. Now I'll quickly get in to the Xbox 360. Now, right off the bat, one of the first games on the original Xbox, the game series that I loved, was a Project Gotham racing series. And I have the first two. The only one I'm missing is 3, and I think 3 came on the Xbox 360. But I'm the type where I like this one so much, I don't really need 3. I'd rather just jump to this and play the best one. This is a really good gem. I'm so happy. I had this, someone loaned this to me back when I first moved up here to Sacramento. My next door neighbor was a younger gamer. He goes, oh, here, Dean, you might like this, play it. I hated to give it back to him. When I moved, I gave it back. But I'm so happy he loaned this to me. This is a fantastic racing game. Beautiful environments when you're going through the streets with all the city lights and these banners and signs and things kind of hanging out overhead. You really feel like you're in a city environment. Excellent graphics. Some of the best kind of backgrounds in racing I've ever seen. Really good detail. Excellent weather effects. You can even race motorcycles through snow. I don't know if it has snow. I think it has rainstorms. I remember going through several rainstorms. I want to play this more. I haven't played it enough. I remember playing this back in the day, and I just last year added it back in my collection. I'd highly recommend this. A really good game. Excellent graphics. And the best of all of them. This is by far the best Project Gotham racing game. And it's sadly the last one that we'll see from that studio, but I'd highly recommend that game. Now, getting into the Forza, I love Forza so much in the original Xbox. One of my favorite racing games on the original Xbox, and once I played that, I kind of never went back to the Gran Turismo series. So when Forza 2 came out, you better believe I bought this. In fact, this is the only Forza game that I'm looking for a steel box for this, because I love this one so much. There's a special edition in a steel box. It would be really nice to get on this one. This was a brand new copy I actually found new for $20. In fact, I had gotten Forza 3, and it had a defect in the disc, and it wouldn't install. So I sent it back, and they didn't have another one. But they said, well, Dean, we have Forza 2. And I go, you know what? Actually, I missed Forza 2. I'll take that one. I like Forza 2 because it was a return to the original style of menus like they had in the old original Xbox one. Really vibrant, colorful menus. Forza 3 was very sterile, like going through a hospital. I mean, it's just The graphics, the menus, everything was very clean, and I appreciate very clean graphics and fonts, but almost too sterile. This was the last really fun one that had bright, colorful, menus. The HUD, everything was very colorful. And it also had like the Gulfstream Corvette, which I used to work for Gulfstream Engineering, and my boss had built a series of Gulfstream Corvettes to enter in racing, and the Silver State Classic and stuff like that. And that's actually in here. That's not in any other Forza game. So I did a video on my channel called Revisiting Forza 2, and I'm glad I did, because this is one of my favorites. I may not even get Forza 3. I really don't need it, because Forza 4 is really a better version of Forza 3 with even more tracks and cars and the same sterile, clean hospital look and style. But I'd highly recommend this, and it still looks and plays fine today. A little bit simpler, not quite as the particle effects and the precision and the flawless photorealism of Forza 4, but still highly recommended. Here's the wonderful Forza 4. My God, I got a small fortune in DLC for this, and multiple season passes and car packs, which sadly they no longer offer off Xbox Live Arcade, but I still have them and have all the licenses for them in my 500 gig hard drive. This is my favorite. I don't need an Xbox One. Sadly, the Xbox One, they force the drive avatars, whether you like it or not. You cannot toggle them off. Some of the newer Forzas, I understand you can adjust the aggressiveness of them, but you're still stuck with them, which I don't like. I'm not an online gamer anymore. I don't need to see my friends or their holograms or their cars or whatever that emulate their driving, good or bad, typically bad driving. So for me, the Forza 4 is really the last good one that gives you real professional AI. So, and it still holds up fine today. I don't feel like I'm missing out on anything. The graphics look incredible. You've got an enormous selection of cars, wonderful tracks, photorealism, tons of championships and tournaments and ways to play it. I put hundreds, probably a couple hundred hours minimum in this. Maybe 200-300 hours. I mean, who knows? Quite a bit. And I still haven't finished it. There's just like endless content in it. This is the best bang for your buck. This is an absolute must-get Xbox 360 game right here. Very, very good. Not long after, they came out with the first Forza Horizon, which I pre-ordered. In fact, I have the nice steel case edition of this, which I love. This game is so good. This became my favorite racing game of all time very quickly. In fact, I did an early kind of an impressions review of this on my channel back in 2012 or whenever I started my channel. A fantastic game. Kind of an open world, racing game. You can just race people on the fly, come up, flash your lights behind a Porsche and your Corvette, and it's on, big time. And I love that. Or you can do kind of assigned races. I went through every wristband, did every race. I have an enormous high achievement score in this. The only achievements I'm missing were the online ones. Other than that, I mastered literally every single achievement you could get for this game. Played all the DLC for it and beat it too. A fantastic game. I haven't really missed the newer ones, as good as they look. And again, those have drive avatars. This doesn't. That's why I love this. I'd highly recommend this. A really good game. Now I have the second one. Unfortunately, it came with my 500 gig hard drive when I got my new PlayStation E model. So I gave the copy I had away to a friend. When I gave him my friend Mikey, I gave him my Xbox 360 Elite. I gave him just a handful of games that I have, games like that, so he'd have something to play when he had it, since I didn't need it. In fact, I'll be looking for that one again for my collection, but I would recommend, and it's quite getting hard to find and somewhat rare, get the 360 version of Forza Horizon 2, because it is also very good. You can't quite go as extensively to every area like you can on the Xbox One version, but it still is very, very good, and the graphics really look good on it. In fact, I did an impressions of that too. Next is a Grid series. This I bought in 2010 or 11 initially, and then I got rid of it. I didn't really like it too much, and then later I bought it back and missed it. It even has my Challenger in here, which is cool. I love the San Francisco tracks, my favorite, the downtown San Francisco one. It's really cool. It really had a gritty realism. It was really a good game, kind of like Forza, a little bit more arcadey in some respects. Excellent graphics, really good racing. This series surprised me, and frankly, every one of these in the series is worth owning. So I have the first Grid. I'd highly recommend Grid 2. Another fantastic game. This one had a return of the muscle cars in this one. Really, really good. Excellent driving on the California coast. Really good road courses. Muscle cars, new and old in it. Really good ways to play it. Tracks, kind of international tracks around the world. Very arcadey, and I like that. In fact, I think I've got some of the DLC for this, and I might be missing some I want to get while I still can. I want to get online and buy the remainder of the DLC for this and for this, Grid Autosport. This is highly recommended as well. This is the last new one that I bought. This has some really good DLC I want to get as well. I think they have like the bathhouse track, or the one in Australia. I think it's, I forget how it's pronounced. Really good tracks. So I want to get it as well. This one's highly recommended. I love the entire Grid series. Really good realism. This one kind of went back to more of the sim. It wasn't quite as arcadey and loose as the feeling, the physics that you got from the second one. They try to kind of straighten it up a little bit and introduce other disciplines within the Autosport series, like you had, you know, Formula One and other, you know, NASCAR type cars. And so I like what they were trying to do with this. It's a great series. It's highly recommended. Hopefully we'll get a new next-gen one down the road. But in the meantime, you get 3 awesome games, Grid games. I'd recommend all 3 of them. They're really that good. Next on the list is the fantastic Burnout Revenge for the Xbox 360. I think this is kind of like Burnout 3 for the original Xbox, kind of a multi-plat deal. A fantastic game. This is so much fun. Many of you know how fast and high speed and fluid the graphics are. The racing is off the hook in this. Highly recommended. I have all the Burnout games. I think I'm missing just the first one, so which I may get either on the PS2 or the original Xbox. I think I've got Burnout 2 and 3, Takedown, and all the others. But this is a great game. Highly recommended. I mean, you can't go wrong with the Burnout. The fact that you can get the little bit better version on the 360, it makes it worth playing. Because I love the 360 controller. It's an excellent controller and really good for racing games. Excuse me, my voice is still hoarse from my sickness, but I'm drinking a little bit of grape juice to try to keep it in bay here for this long-winded review. This is the big one here. Burnout Paradise. I've been raving about the new remastered version coming to the PS4 and the Xbox One. I love this game so much. I got all the licenses in it. I found every billboard, every back alley. It's one of those ones, though, it's really hard. And as you get deeper into the races, it gets hard. You really have to memorize and know the roads in every back alley and shortcut, because you can get your ass handed to you and have to redo a race repeatedly. This is such a treat. This is one of the best top 10 racing games of all time. Highly recommend it. The new version's going to have, you know, they'll have the big, I have all the DLC except for the motorcycles. I'm not real big on the bike, so that's the only DLC I don't have. I've got the big surf island. I've got the extra movie cars, all the car packs. So I like having this because it's kind of my go-to game. I've even played this online, the shit out of it online. It's so fun. A fantastic game, Burnout Paradise. I'm so excited about the new one. But again, what's nice about these is these 7th gen games all are fantastic. Some of these you can play backwards compatible on the new Xbox One, which is very, very intriguing, and it makes me want to get an Xbox One for that reason. But either way, very worth collecting and having now, because you can play them especially on the Xbox 360. Midnight Club Los Angeles Complete Edition. One of my top 10 favorite games. My God, this is so good. I love all the Burnout games. I'm sorry, all the Midnight Club games, especially the Midnight Club 3. I got the dub edition for the original Xbox, but this one is so good. The realism, I lived in LA for many years, the realism of LA is even better in this than it is in GTA 5, honest to God. Parts of Sunset Boulevard and Santa Monica, or the 110 freeway, you swear you're on the real freeways, on the real boulevards. It's that good. They've got the diamond lanes for the carpool lanes. You feel just like you're in LA freeway interchanges. It's so good. Freeway racing, street racing, relentless cop chases. I've had cop chases last 15, 20 minutes long in this. It's hard as fuck to get rid of these cops in this game. It's so good. This is a must. You got to get this game. It's an absolute must-play game, must-have, whether you have it on the PlayStation 3 or the Xbox 360. I've got a version of my old 1970 Challenger in here. You can even suit the cars up and eventually put a blower on them where you'll see the blower actually coming through the hood. And when you do the in-car cockpit view, and you can see all those gauges and that blower vibrating coming up out of the hood, it is so good. It's so good. You got to get this game. Very, very good racing game. Midnight Club. This one's kind of similar Juice to. I have the first Juice for the old original Xbox. I barely played this. I've only got maybe an hour and a half into this so far, but really good. The cars are kind of a little bit larger on the screen, kind of up close and personal, kind of the behind the car view, but really good customization. That's what I like about this. It's very well done. Again, it's kind of like the Fast and Furious, all the little drifting kind of Tokyo type cars, the imports and stuff like that. I think there's a couple muscle cars in this, not too much, but a few. But this is one of the early kind of Fast and Furious games that was on the Xbox 360. This game is hard to find. It took me a year to find this. Now, I could have gone on eBay and paid top dollar, but I'm patient. My Dimple stores will find it for me, and I paid like $12 for it, really cheap. Worth every penny. I would have paid a hell of a lot more for this. I like the graphics. It's quite challenging, an interesting progression system, but very well worth getting. Get this Juice too, a great game. This is one of my absolute favorites. I love Flat Out on the original Xbox, and especially Flat Out 2. This is basically kind of like a remastered Flat Out 2 for the Xbox 360. It was called Flat Out Ultimate Carnage. Better particle effects, more debris on the tracks, more intricacy in the environments. Just enormous. This is a huge game. So many types of racing, paved street races, kind of off-road, demolition derby type, back road races, rally type cars. I mean, you've got such a wide array of cars, upgrades, ways to play it. You got the really crazy kind of the arcade type modes where you can go in these giant arenas and launch the guy through the windshield and get him to hit things like a pinball machine. It's crazy the ways you can play this. But this is, I have, my God, probably 100 hours in this. I have so much time in this game. Even in the old original Xbox version of it, I loved until I found this. I go, my God, it's the same game, but even better graphics. You've got to get this. This is one of the top 10 reasons to have an Xbox 360. It's that good. Get this Flat Out game. Very, very good. This game just came out, remastered, and I just bought it last year. Baja Edge of Control. I remember I bought this when it was brand new. A friend helped me move. I had no money. I was so broke. He wanted this game so bad. Oh, dude, you got that? And he loves off-road stuff, and I gave it to him. I said, here, dude. I just bought it like the day before and started really getting into it. And sadly, I never bought it back until last year. And then right after I bought it, they announced they're making a remastered version, so I didn't get too far back into it again. But this is really a good game, and it's worth having on the Xbox 360. I still have my save point, where I got pretty far into this in those first couple days that I had it initially and played it. A fantastic, really balls hard off-road game. You make one mistake on a track and it's pretty much all over. You won't catch up. Very cool game. And I'm glad that they're remastering these games for the new gen. Next is a series that is one of my most beloved. That's the Dirt series. Even the first Dirt is so good. If you get nothing else, at least get this one. Kind of a up close and personal behind the car view, which I really like. Really good graphics. They nailed being on dirt and dirt roads flawlessly with the Dirt series. It's so good. Every rally type event and car imaginable, tracks, they really gave you the vibe of being off-road in every respect. It's an absolute masterpiece. I love the Dirt series, but my God, if that first one is good, this is my favorite of all of them, is the second one. Even more than 3, which I have. I've got 3 as well. But Dirt 2, kind of the extreme sports thing with the crazy graphics and very busy fonts and all that stuff. It does have a lot of, kind of a visual bombardment, extreme-wise, on looking at it graphically. Even by looking at the packaging, it has that kind of same vibe to it. But my God, this one is so good. The off-road rally tracks, the rage events where you're in these trucks just going from point A to point B and you can go any way you want, cross country and shortcuts, and it's so good. I must have at least 120 hours, at least, in this game. I've mastered this. I've beaten the thing. I've gone back and, got the fastest cars, and it's such a great go-to game. No one really mastered off-road racing on dirt like the Dirt series that Codemasters did. It's so good. This one is a must-have. If you didn't get any of the other three, at least get Dirt 2. I think it's the best one. So naturally, I pre-ordered Dirt 3, and I love this game. I think I got rid of it because I was disenchanted with it, and then I bought it back again. I didn't like the Gymkhana events. That was my only problem with it. The off-road rally events are outstanding, and it's a nice kind of an augmented. It's almost like expansion packs or DLC for this. The problem is to unlock all of those events, you have to master the stupid Gymkhana events where you're just doing slaloms and figure eights through cones, and it gets nerve-wracking. I'm just not into that type of driving. I should give it another chance because I want to progress deeper. I got pretty far into it, but I hit a block wall because I wasn't doing stellar in the Gymkhana events. That's my only gripe with it. I even have a lot of DLC for this. A lot of really cool vintage rally cars that I really like. But it's worth getting. The graphics are good. Codemasters knows the Dirt series and knows how to make a dirt racing game so good. And I highly recommend the ones on the 8th gen too, by the way. Now next we'll get into the Need for Speed series, which I have most of here. I have most of the ones that are on the 360. Starting with this. Now I have the special black edition on the original Xbox, but my God, the Xbox 360 version is like the remastered HD version. Just get this. It's so good. The cutscenes and everything are so good in this, so hilarious. I smile every time I look at this box because of these cutscenes with these characters are so wonderful in this. It's such a great series. It's over the top. I love the cars. I love the streets. The racing gets quite challenging. I've rage quit this a few times. I love the cops. All of a sudden you see a cop and it zooms in and shows the cops coming at you in slow motion. And then it's on like Donkey Kong. And man, you got to get with it and lose those cops. I love that. I love the sensation of losing the cops in this. I like grinding and winning each of the different contestants and then getting the next car and working your way up. It's just, I've had some of the police chases go on for literally upwards of like 30 minutes in this. Really excellent racing and cop chases. It's so good. The sequel I love almost equally, and that's a Need for Speed Carbon. There's something about this. It went kind of back to the Underground 1 and 2 with the neon and the nighttime and all that stuff. That's what I like about it. I love that aspect of it. But what really sold me on this was the canyon racing. Because I lived in LA, and what I did on Friday nights in particular is I'd go up to Mulholland and you just race. You'd find guys to race. Sometimes it would just be kind of follow the leader, but you'd go through these canyons, and I mean, I almost lost it a couple times and went over the edge. Sometimes there's guardrails, sometimes there's not. And it nailed that vibe. It's even more so. It's a little overly dramatic the way the ribbony canyons are, and it's really a good sense of verticality as you're grinding up high and you're working your way down these steep canyon roads, and you get so much momentum and so much speed. And those are kind of like your boss battles in this to succeed. My brother-in-law still plays this today. He loves it. He plays it on a PlayStation 3. It's one of his favorite go-to games, and it really is mine as well. I love this. I have all the DLC for this as well. It's so good. I want to get, they have a special Xbox 360 version of this, kind of like the Black Edition for Most Wanted, and I want to find that. This is the only one in the series that I haven't put a lot of time into. I've got maybe a couple hours into this when I bought this a year and a half ago, and that's a Prostreet one. I finally took a chance and bought it. This is one that was a multi-plat. It was on the original Xbox, the Xbox 360. The 360 is the one that I would get, but actually it's quite good. It has kind of like the Need for Speed Shift, kind of more realistic handling models. You start off with a little shitty car with a mismatched hood and front fenders. I like that aspect of it. And you grind your way up. This is a real grinding game. You grind your way up. It does have muscle cars. You get the Kudus and Chargers and stuff like that in here. 69 Camaros, what have you. I like the good array of cars and graphics. There's a lot of advertising within the game. You'll see a lot of that. It's like overkill with it. But this is one I want to give more time to. I wish I had had more experience and I could rave about it a little bit more in depth. But I like what I've played so far, and I've watched some reviews on this. It's quite good. I would get this. I like the Need for Speed is one of my favorite racing series, And I have all of them, I think, except for the Porsche Challenge. This is one I don't have a lot of experience in, and that's Need for Speed Undercover. Now, stay away from the PlayStation 3 version. It is one of the worst frame rates of any PlayStation 3 game. Major technical problems, but it plays and looks really good on the Xbox 360. This one I put some time into this too when I bought it maybe a year and a half ago. This is pretty good. I want to give this more time. I like the really high-speed freeway chases. It's just kind of a big dead open world where it's very empty. That was my kind of complaint with it. There's no real reason to have it an open world because you have this very linear structure of races anyway, which kind of blocks off roads. So I don't even know why they have the open road. It doesn't make sense really, like it did in Most Wanted. But still a good game. Not bad. This is probably one of my least favorites in the series, but still has some good merit. Really good cars, good music in it. I like this. I want to give this one some more time. Now, next is a series I absolutely love, and that's the Shift series. A lot of people, for some reason, don't like Shift. I recently went back and played this one and Shift 2. These play very differently. They had really refined it quite a bit more. The graphics in Shift 2 are much better than this, even on the same tracks with the same cars. But this was really good. They really try to bring realism into it, the way you initiate the drifts, the sensation of realism with the graphics were very impressive. They were trying to go for more of a racing sim and give you that really gritty, high speed where you feel like you're in a little race car going fast. And they pulled it off. I like this a lot. And you don't technically need both of these. You could just get this one because you get the same cars and tracks, but more of them in this. Shift 2 is a masterpiece. This is an absolute another top 10 racing game, I think, for the Xbox 360. I absolutely love this. You could certainly play it on the PlayStation 2 as well. This is my original pre-ordered one. I pre-ordered 1,000 years ago, but really good. They nailed even the beginning intros. They give the realism, the really gnashing the teeth grittiness of racing. You hear the little gussets creaking in the roll cage. The hood is violently going up and down at high speed when you're going 150 miles an hour. They really it has a helmet cam you lean into the turns with. They really have the sensation of speed. They got a really cool vintage racing track with old Capris and kind of IMSA style BMWs and Porsches. And I love the DLC for this. It's so good. Hopefully it's still available. I'd like to think that it is, but this is a must-play game. I love this. Some people didn't like it because it got away from the kind of crazy Need for Speed on the main roads doing. This is more like on the track. Kind of like a Forza. It really tried to do something new, and I don't know if we'll ever see another one, but I really like the series quite a bit. This is a game, it's the third time I bought this back. My most hated reboot of any game, and that's Need for Speed Most Wanted from 2012. I still like it today. I've been giving it another chance. The fact that I can drive my Challenger, of course I can't pick the color of it, that really irritates you. You can't even choose the color of your car. It's just like randomized. And then when you go through a gas station, you might get yellow, orange, red, silver. You don't know what color you're going to get. But it's a good game, and I have all the DLC for this. The problem with this is the courses are so narrow. There's a lot of foam poles and obstacles. And you're racing and you're just going 10/10ths, and you hit one pole and sets you back. It spins out. Good luck catching up. You might as well just hit the restart button and restart the entire race. That's what I didn't like about it. It was like very demanding. You had to have absolute precision and perfection in winning the races. That's a rage-inducing game there, but I still like it. Now this is my favorite of all of the Need for Speed games in the series, and that's Need for Speed The Run. For some strange reason, it's gotten terrible scores and terrible reviews, but it's the most fun. It's basically the Cannonball Run. I mean, to me, that's a beautiful thing. San Francisco to New York, wide open. It has a kind of a shitty, cringe-worthy kind of douchebag characters and story, but an outstanding game. You're going through the Rocky Mountains and snowstorms and avalanches, the mob's after you. There's a couple of things like in Chicago, for a brief moment you get out of your car and you're running from the cops, and there's some quick time events, which is kind of odd. But it tried to tell a story, and I think it's not bad. I highly recommend this. I've recommended this to 3 or 4 friends of mine that were very skeptical, and they tried it and liked it. So that says something. I mean, I would give this a shot. I have all the DLC. There's so many ways to play this game. I've played it even on hard. It's an outstanding game, one of the best. The new Need for Speed Payback has a very similar handling model from this, which is why I like it so much. I'd give this a chance. This is my favorite Need for Speed game of all of them for the 7th gen. Getting on to my last pile here. This is my last game I've got for a racing game for the 360. Just got this around Christmas, and that's NASCAR 2011, the game. This is one of the only, if you had no other NASCAR game, just get this one. This is the best one, in my opinion, the very best one for the Xbox 360 or the PlayStation 3. My wife bought me this for my birthday when it was brand new in 2011, and I loved it. I played it and got kind of bored with it and traded it in. I don't know why. And then I missed it. And I recently had a hell of a time finding this. I put it on a locator. It took me like 3 months to get this game to come in. And then they said, "Oh, Dean, we got your NASCAR game. Do you want us?" "Yeah, hold it. I'll be right there." So highly recommended. Really good graphics, good music, really good car customization. This is the best, probably the last really good NASCAR game, and highly recommended. Mayhem. My buddy Chance, I think, just found this recently, or maybe he's looking for this, but Mark Bussler and Classic Gamer, I remember, reviewed this way back. Now, this is in 3D. In my 3D TV, I can actually watch this in 3D. I don't know if this one came with the glasses. This one doesn't have the glasses, but I still have some the movie glasses from going to the theater that I can play with it. Plus, I have my own active 3D glasses that work with my TV set, which I haven't tried with this game yet, but it should work. But it's kind of cool. It's kind of like a black and white, very gritty style Demolition Derby type race. It's kind of like the old Destruction Derby racing games. And it's in black and white with little touches of red. It has really cool little graphics and little on-screen, menus and the little scenes that segue from one race to the next. I really like it. It's got a lot of style to it, a lot of heart. It was a budget game, but very cool, and I would really recommend this. This should be in your collection. It's a really fun racer. Blood Drive. I love all the Twisted Metal car combat games, and I'm obsessed with having all of them. Blood Drive is a real gem. Fantastic graphics, really good racing. It can be a little balls hard at times. It gets tougher as you get near the end of it, but I really like this a lot. Zombies everywhere. You can go through them or not go through them. But the racing is very challenging, and I just love the attention to detail everywhere in this. This is a hidden gem. Some of these games are getting hard to find. That's why I suggest you've got to collect for the Xbox 360 and PlayStation 3 now. Another year or so from now, you're going to see the landscape shift, and it's going to become much harder to find these. And you're going to have to go on eBay, and you're going to probably pay double what they're worth. And I'm realizing that now. I'm so close. I've only got just a handful of games, which I'll show at the end, that I'm looking for, and I can't even find them locally. It's getting tough, and I've got the best sources right here. Full Auto is one of the first games I bought for my 360. I just got it back a couple years ago. Really good. This is one of the best kind of up close and personal first person views or behind the hood view with great car combat. I remember seeing the demos for this, and this is what sold me. This game and Call of Duty 2. I said, that's it. I got to get an Xbox 360. I remember seeing a demo at a GameStop of this, and I was absolutely blown away. I said, my God, this is like Twisted Metal, but better, with like realistic Twisted Metal. And it still is. It's really good. Now, the PS3 sequel to this is a little bit better graphically, and this one has some technical hitches, but this one still looks and plays amazingly well. It just has a good array of cars. It's very violent the way... I just watched that movie Death Race with Jason Statham, or whatever his name is, and it reminded me of this quite a bit. It's such a great game. I get this. And you can probably still get it fairly cheap, but this one used to be able to see everywhere. I'm not finding it around like I used to, but it should be relatively affordable. My friend Cameron recommended this. This one I'm really surprised. And I have another friend, Scott Bailey, that did a really good review of this, and he liked it too. He's not real big on a lot of the car racing games, but he seemed to like this one. And I can see why. Really very well polished. Kind of like, oh, what's that movie? There's a Schwarzenegger movie, The Running Man, kind of like a TV show where you get guys on the lam. It's like a death race kind of thing, kind of like the Death Race movie I just watched. And they're televising it, and there's all this mayhem and destruction. The course is literally changing as you're driving through it. Once you memorize where everything is, it becomes quite easy to replay levels over and over. But the first few times you play it and you don't know where anything is, it's very exciting. Over-the-top explosions. really good production values, and an excellent sensation of speed. This one really nails high speed through carnage like no one's business. A really good game. I highly recommend this split-second game. Very, very good. Blur is the one that I bought the same time. Metal Jesus has raved about this. I never was going to buy it because I didn't understand it. I'm like, God, it has all these realistic Mustangs and Challengers and cars in it, but then it's like a Mario Kart where you go through the little... I didn't understand it. But I want to give this one a try. This is probably one of the only racing games in here that I haven't tried yet and haven't played. I have it installed, actually. I'm ready to play it. I just haven't had time for it. That's one of the reasons why I waited so long to do this, is because I wanted to actually play every game that I have so I could talk fairly about it. So I'm only talking about this from what I've seen in reviews, like Metal Jesus did his impressions of this. But it looks really good. It's got all these little power-up type deals here that you go through, and there's offensive weapons and defensive weapons. It's kind of like a Mario Kart, very much like it, but with realistic graphics and cars. And it looks challenging as hell. I love the car array in this and everything. This is one I'd recommend. It's just a beautiful game. It's just a beautiful graphics, and I really like the way it looks. I'm anxious to play it. This is a great game. I put a lot of time into this one. Test Drive Unlimited 2. Now this is another example where, kind of like the PGR4 or Project Gotham Racing 4, I really don't need 3. The first one is good too, but the graphics are so much better in this, and it's more of the same. There's really no need to own the first one, but at least get the second one. Initially, yes, it was an online game, but you can still play it offline. The entire island of Oahu, which you open up later in the game. Wonderful licensed Ferraris in this. Super douchebag characters. I mean, this is like ultra cringeworthy. Some of the shallowness that's in this game with the characters and what have you. But very, very fun nonetheless. Highly recommended. Enormous open worlds with beautiful cars. Just kind of sterile environments. Not a lot of pedestrians and people on the road. You just feel very sterile, but pretty, but graphically very nice. I love the Test Drive series back from the C64 and Amiga days. I recommend this one quite a bit. You should have this in your collection. Test Drive Unlimited 2. This is the best one. Driver San Francisco. I have a love-hate relationship with this. I love San Francisco. It's 9 minutes away. My wife and I go there a couple times a year and have such a good time. A lot of iconic movies, like Bullet were filmed there. But this is a strange game. It has this thing where you're kind of in a dream, and you're going in the guy's mind, and he's like remembering stuff. It's just strange, very odd, the story. Really good cutscenes, great, voice acting. The graphics are great, the car selection's great. He even has my Challenger in here, which is nice, and the old Starsky and Hutch Torino, and the Bluesmobile 74 Dodge Monaco. The A-Team van has a lot of television TV shows with cars, The cars are in shows that are in here. That's what I like about it. But I don't like the progression system. It has this shift mechanic where you can go through, you're using your mind, go from one car and then pan back on the map and then jump into a car ahead, which to me is like cheating. It's like you can easily beat a race just by keep jumping to cars ahead. It's just very odd. I only unlocked the second section road mass in here, and I never finished it and unlocked the third one. I want to give this some more time because it has a lot of merit. I love the series, and it was such a departure from the series and the Tanner character that I know and love. I think that's why I was let down by it, but still, it's a must-have game. It's just fun to just go in and get in cop chases. The graphics are really good. One of my intros even has some scenes of this, and that's why I love this game. It's so cool. The Wheelman. There's another one I haven't played yet. I haven't installed. It's got Vin Diesel. Some people have given this horrible reviews, but I kind of like what I see. It reminds me of the Sleeping Dogs, the way you can kind of get in and out of the cars, commandeering cars, jumping out of the roof, and then throwing the guy out and get inside. It has a lot of that crazy, over-the-top stuff like Sleeping Dogs had, and the slow-motion gun shooting mechanic, kind of like Sleeping Dogs. I like this. I want to give this one a chance. It looks really good. I passed on this early on because of the jaded, bad reviews of it typically, but I think I could see something cool in this. It doesn't have the greatest selection of cars. It's got this G8 Pontiac, which is fine, I think General Motors is really pushing this car in the game. And a few other good cars in it as well. But I like Vin Diesel. Any reason to play him would be cool. But I thought I'd give this a shot. So this and Blur are really the only games that I haven't tried yet in my collection. My God, this one is a masterpiece. I passed on this initially. I'm not real big on quads. I'm a dirt bike guy. I like dirt bikes better. But this is going to be the best quad racing game I have ever played. Fantastic graphics. Wonderful sensations of like massive air. It's very addictive. I cannot recommend this game enough. You've got to play this pure. Rise above, massive air, massive jumps, wonderful graphics, really good customization for days, endless customization of your quads and upgrading abilities, kind of like RPG elements that are in this. Very, very good game. It reminds me of, what was that other one, that Nailed game, in some ways, with that sense of speed and the massive air and everything. Now these two are the last games, and these are not cars, but snowboarding. This is one of my favorite Xbox 360 exclusives. It's, for some reason, always overlooked, and that is the Stoke game. Now, there's one that's Stoked, and then the one you want, though, is a Big Air Edition, which has more courses, more mountains, more things in it, kind of like a DLC expansion pack, like a Game of the Year edition. Get this one. This game is unbelievably hard. I want to beat this game so bad. I'll get italicized and spend hours. I'm determined I'm going to unlock the next mountain, and I can't do it. It drives me crazy. It's so good, though. I did unlock like 3 or 4 mountains in it. Just to unlock those last couple, I just can't do it. It's just so hard. You have to do all these stunts on like a grocery list. If you get just one of them just off a little bit, you're going to start the whole thing over. And I rage quit it too many times. But it's so good. It's still a very chill game. You get up in a helicopter, it drops you off anywhere you want. You can go down the mountain any damn way you want and find ways that no one has ever even been down. That's what I love about it. When you get air off, these massive air on your snowboard, you hear like the eagles screaming, crying as you're just soaring through the air. They really nail, through a variety of little tricks, visually and audibly, they nail the sensation of getting massive air. There's huge snowstorms. As a snowstorm comes down, the snow changes the entire course from then on. Things that were accessible to grind on are now covered up. It's very cool. This is an absolute masterpiece. One of my favorite games for an exclusive that's unfortunately not on the PlayStation 3, but you've got to get this game. My favorite snowboarding game, and I have quite a few of them. I love this so much. The last game is AMP 3. I loved AMP 1 and 2 for the original Xbox. I still need to get AMP 1. I do have AMP 2, but I just don't have the first one. But AMP 3 was really a fun game. It really live. You can even take like a sofa down. It has some really fun events, very kind of fun, colorful menus, kind of like the Forza 2. Really kind of way out wacky characters, kind of a cartoon, comic book kind of vibe to it. Really a fun vibe. This is a very fun game. This is a very chill, kick back. You don't have to be stoned to have fun, but it certainly doesn't hurt. It's a great game. I'd highly recommend AMP 3. So that's it for my physical games. I'll go through a quick list of ones and show you here what I have off the PlayStation Store and Xbox Live Arcade. Now, I only have one racing game off the PlayStation 3, and that's a Jeremy Mcgrath Off-Road, which you can also get off Xbox Live Arcade for the 360. I beat the entire game. It was so good. Really solid arcade racing. Very, very good. I was surprised for a cheap budget game. It's very fun. I had a tremendous amount of fun playing it, and I highly recommend it. Now, for the 360, I've got a variety of them. Again, I have Forza Horizon 2. I have the entire game downloaded. And I think some DLC for that as well. But I do want to get the physical copy just to have it. And then there's also Forza Horizon 2, the Fast and Furious expansion. It's a standalone game. You don't have to own the Forza Horizon 2 for the 360, but you can download it. And basically it's all the cars that were in the original Fast and Furious movies, including Dom's Charger with the blower coming out. My God, it's so good. The sound of it, the graphics, the sensation of acceleration, it's an absolute must-have. It basically is the entire map. It's like the entire game of Forza Horizon 2 on the 360 in a digital download with just nothing but Fast and Furious events and cars, and it's worth every penny. I love it. It's one of my favorite go-to games on the Xbox 360. The next is Hydro Thunder Hurricane. Now, Metal Jesus raves about this one a lot too, and I like it equally with him. It's a fantastic game. I don't know if you can still get it off Xbox Live Arcade. It may be one of those ones that's gone now. But I love the game. It's so fun. It reminds me of the old arcade games with power boats. And it's such a beautiful game. It's a very chill, kickback game. The next one is Need for Speed Hot Pursuit. Now, when I got my first E-model with a 250 gig hard drive, I upgraded it to a 320 gig hard drive. And one of the free games digital games that came with it was Need for Speed Hot Pursuit, which I used to have the physical game. I think I gave it to my friend Mikey along with my Xbox 360 Elite when I gave it to him. So again, I'm going to look for that one back in my collection just to have the nice physical case and everything. But that's one of my favorite Need for Speed games. Now, I didn't have it, sadly, to talk about with all my other Need for Speed games, but it's one of the very best ones, and probably the top 3 Xbox 360 Need for Speed games. Very arcadey. The drifting is not near as realistic as a new Payback or Shift or Need for Speed The Run, but really a fast, high-speed game. You could play it online or off. Of course, I play it offline. It has all of the, you know, the whatever your events you win. You know, you can see there's like I guess I call them leaderboards. They have all the leaderboard stuff in it, so you can see how your friends are doing in the races. I never was able to beat it. I've gotten pretty far into it. Plus, I have all the Porsche DLC. I have all the Lamborghini DLC for it, which I've played a lot of that. So I just need to get serious and go back and try to finish the original game. But I've got a lot of hours. I got probably 60 hours so far in that game. It's very, very good. One of the best top 10 games I'd recommend getting for the Xbox 360 is, again, Need for Speed Hot Pursuit. A really good, surprisingly good arcade game. The games like that I would like to see remastered because they were like so perfect. They hit on all 8 cylinders and did it well. Now, I also have the Outrun Arcade, or they call it Outrun Online Arcade. I play it offline. I guess maybe you can play it online. And basically, it's like the Need for Speed, no, I'm sorry, not Need for Speed. It's like the Outrun Coast to Coast 2006, which is getting very expensive and very hard to get for the original Xbox. But you can get it off Xbox Live Arcade. Again, I don't know if you still can, but I downloaded that thing the day it was available, and my God, it's one of my favorite. It's the best Outrun game experience I've had. The music, the cars, the graphics, the high-speed sensation. It plays better than any other version of Outrun I've ever played. Highly recommended. I have also Sega Rally Arcade. Again, I don't know if you can still get that one. Really good. My nephews come over, and that was like their favorite go-to game because it's very simple. You just jump in and play. It's not real hard like Dirt Rally or something like that, but very colorful and very fun. I love the music. I love the split screen in it, especially with my nephews. It's quite a bit of fun. And I also have the whole game of SSX. That was the reboot of it. Plus I have all the DLC downloaded as well. It was one of those games with gold. For a short while, I still had the Xbox Gold set up, and I was getting a few of those games with gold, like Dead Island, and some of the early ones like SSX. So I have the entire game down, and that's another one I would like to find the physical copy of, just to have it. But I love the SSX games, and it's the one really good reboot on the Xbox 360 that's worth having. It's really that good. Next would be Trials Evolution and Trials HD. They're more of like a time trial events instead of like typical racing games where you're racing other people, but it's very competitive. My nephew comes over and we take turns doing the time trials, and trying to beat some of the tracks are insanely hard. It's so good. It's so addictive. I also have the Trials Fusion for the PlayStation 4, but I love the first two. I went and bought all the DLC, all the expansion packs. It's one of my favorite. That's why I had to get a brand new Xbox 360e with 500 gig hard drive, because I wanted to back up all my arcade games off Xbox Live Arcade to play them for years and years to come. Some of them are I mean, I have the new, what's it called, Afterburner Climax. You can't even get that game anymore, but I still have it in my hard drive. If you bought it at one time and show you proof of the license, even though you can't get the game anymore, to let you download it again. So I'm glad I hung on to a lot of those old games and kept them in my hard drive because they're so fun. So even though I prefer physical media, I'm happy to have these games nonetheless. The last one I just got maybe 6 months ago, and that's Zombie Driver HD. I was just playing that while I was sick. In fact, it made me even sicker playing it. But it's so good. It's like a little top-down zombie driving game, and the graphics are incredible. The HD version, they really perfected it. They really tweaked it. It looks much more realistic. A lot more stuff going on. Highly recommended. So that's it. That's my list of my Xbox 360 racing games and my PlayStation 3 ones, and a couple ones that are digital downloads as well. The only games that I have left to get that are on my list, the PlayStation 3, I want to get Ridge Racer 7, and I want to get Ski-Doo Snowmobile Challenge. Those are really it to round out my PS3 racing collection. And then for the 360, I want to get the Need for Speed Hot Pursuit just to get that physical copy. The SSX game, which I mentioned. Forza 3, I may still get the Forza Motorsport 3. I'm still on the fence on that one. Oh, Ferrari Challenge. I can't get this game anywhere to save my life. So I'll probably have to go on eBay for that. It's on a locator right now. If it comes into any one of my 7 Dimple stores, they're going to hold it for me, but it hasn't come in yet. Ferrari Challenger looks really good. It looks tough, too. Dirt Showdown. I may get the Xbox 360 version of Dirt Showdown. If I don't, it's not the end of the world. Oh, Import Tuner Challenge. I can't find it anywhere. It's a very rare... It's kind of that game... What's that series called? It was a series that was for the PlayStation 2. Tokyo Extreme Racer. It's that series, but it was rarely on the Xbox 360, and they call it the Tuner or Import Tuner Challenge. That's one of the last really good Xbox 360 games. I was going to wait and do this after I got that, but I just can't find it. That's going to be an eBay one. Next, again, in Forza Horizon 2, I want the physical copy of that, and SSX. So that's it. That's pretty much it. I only had a handful, 4 or 5 games really left to get for the Xbox 360 and PlayStation 3, and I have every racing game I want. And the beauty is, once you have them, you own them. You can play them now or 10 years from now. Just maintain that hardware, take good care of it, and you should technically be able to play it for many years to come. That's why I love the 7th gen, and many of my friends are realizing just how cool it is too, because there's not a hell of a lot of great racing games on the 8th gen, and there's just a real treasure trove of gems that we can play right now. So I hope you enjoy this. I would recommend every one of these games I mentioned are worth playing, and believe me, there's even more on top of this, but these are the ones that I like. These are the ones that I sought out for my collection. So I hope you enjoyed it, guys. Thank you so much for watching, and no matter what the genre, enjoy those games.